Hello. I am hoping that this will all work and everything's fine and that you're going to join me. I'm happily at home in isolation, and it's just I think just on the dot. Yes, hello, welcome. Welcome. Sheila, welcome to you. It's lovely to have you with me. Great. Am I the right way up? I'm hoping so. And Robert Kerr. Hello, Robert. And Raymond. Great to have you with me, Raymond. Neil Strachan, missed you. Lovely to have you with me this week. Excellent. And Marlene Monroe is watching. Nancy Wilson. Hello, Nancy. Welcome. Brian Green, good evening to you. Lovely to have you with me. And Aileen Lamb. Oh, you're all joining. All my lovely regulars. Frida Baxter, good evening to you. And Brian Green. Oh, great. I'm the right way up, Brian. Excellent. Liz Calder, good evening. And Kathleen Burnett. Hello from Inverness to Catherine Nicholson. Well, hello from Blair's in Aberdeenshire. Lovely to have you with me. And Pat Riddle. Nancy Skade all the way from Ontario. Great, Nancy, to have you with me. Catherine Bell from Fife. So from Fife to Ontario, to Inverness, to France, to Hurrah in France, and Bordeaux in France, and all over France. Kathleen Geddes, Carol McGrath. Oh, it's wonderful. Veronica Ann Culling, and I think you're at Ballater Way. I don't know how the weather is with you. Kathy McManus, hello. Jennifer Strachan, great to have you with me, Jennifer. This is lovely. Doing this live on my Onio. John Bett, thank you for welcoming me home. What a journey I've had. I'll tell you about it in a minute. Anne Rutherford, hello. And Frank Crombie from Central Scotland. And Cataline, Anne-Marie McDermott's in Cataline. Betty Hunter. Rhoda MacDonald from Dunoon. My word, we've all got our electricity again. Isn't that great? Sheena Reid, Heather Rose, you must all have your internet and your electricity. Janet Gillis in Spain, where she says the weather's amazing. And Jacqueline Lees, hello, I don't know where you are. Ro Stewart, you're in Aberdeen. Great to have you with me. Liz Mitchell in Inverness. Oh my, what is the poster behind me, says Neil. I'll tell you what it is. Hi Betty and hi Jimmy Guild. I'm doing grand. Little weary. Robert Kerr, good for you. Thank you. And Margaret Hind, listening from Scone. Very nice. And Peter Stewart. Janie Danielle from Paphos in Cyprus. Oh my word, it'd be lovely in Cyprus. Kathleen Fettes, hello. And Helen Watson. Currently in Skye. Brian is weather dreich and cold. Same. Doris is in Bucky and Cheshire. Elizabeth Mackenzie's in Cheshire. Wonderful. Kathleen Connell and Heather Ross. Good evening. Oh, wonderful. Jacqueline Lees is in Aberdeen. Isabel Foley, welcome. We've gone from 0 to nearly 100 already. This poster behind me, Tenerife, Jean Thompson. Half of my viewers are away, but I'm deeply honoured that you are watching from where you are. Daisy Robb. This poster dates back to 1984. Hello, Jean Caron in Afford and Phyllis Stewart. It was in satire of the Three Estates. Anne Marsh also regards from Cyprus. Fantastic. North Ayrshire. I bet you in North Ayrshire, Robert, wish you were in Cyprus. Fiona Smith. Oh, it's lovely. James Flynn from Ireland, from Wexford. How wonderful. Ishbel Jack. Oh, this is lovely. And Elgin and Peter from Pitlochry. Peter Stewart from Peter and Liz in Pitlochry. My goodness. Well, that's a great way to start. Everyone, Bucky with Pat, Ron Black and Pat from Bucky, Joni Mackay from Tobermory. I'm in the scullery, said Robert Kerr. I hope you're preparing the tatties. That will be. And Charles Docherty, not sure where you are, Charles, but lovely to have you with me. That's great. And Ellen, Mary Morrison. Lovely. There's a lovely song called Mary Morrison from Ellen and Betty Davison. Righty ho. Let me tell you my news. Oh, Janie Danielle will be in Huntly on the 15th of December. I'm going to be in Braemar this Saturday singing, all being well, for a lovely Festival de Noël that the St Margaret's are putting on. So I'm going to be there. Oh my word, Susanna Pearman Bradley from Sydney. Mwah, my dear school friend. She's just joined us all the way from Sydney. How amazing is this? Anne Martin and Marion McFarker and Sharon Smith from Aboyne. Okay, so Neil Strachan, hello Chick. McDonald, you're watching. There's just more and more people watching as we keep going on. William Gillis is an Applecross, got to be related. And Mary Coonahan is watching, and I'm guessing, Mary, are you in Ireland? I'm not very sure, but you can let me know. Well, I just feel like we have the most wonderful gathering. Mary McLeod from Kilcohen and Dot Davidson. I don't know about you, but I can sort of picture the map and where sort of you are all over the world. And my goodness, here I am back in Aberdeenshire after a week in France with my sister Kirstine. So I'd love to say a big mwah to my sister Kirstine and also to Georgia May Drennan in Bordeaux. And it was lovely to catch up with her. Wendy Gold is in Contour, not so far away. We used to go for our holidays to the Torryburn Hotel in Contour. And Agnes Fraser, well, I think I've just about mentioned all of you, and that's over 100 already. So, Neil Strachan saying, what is your news? Well, first of all, this poster behind me in Satter of the Three Estates, South East London, Charles Docherty, hurrah! And Largs, Stormy and Largs, says Doris. This was for the festival, the Edinburgh Festival. It has the most amazing cast from Juliet Cadzo, John Buick, Ian Briggs, Walter Carr, Andrew Cruikshank, Gregor Fisher, John Grieve, Roy Hanlon, Alex Heggie, Caroline Hart, Hal Crow Johnson, Anne Kristen, Edith MacArthur, Bill Riddick, Phil McCall, David Rintoul, Tony Roper, John Snedden, Gerda Stevenson, Ian Stewart, Robert Urquhart, Paul Young, Tom Watson, Alexander West. I mean, an amazing production from the 12th of August to the 1st of September 1984, directed by the late, great Tom Fleming. And I was just really lucky to be in this production. So I'm in isolation. I'm going to get on with singing something. I've been in France. I'll give you all my news after the first song. I have been on trains, planes, trains, metros, tubes to get back to Aberdeenshire, which we have had no electricity for 8 days. The golfer thinks I managed to really luck out by going over to Kirstine's and missing the power cut, and it was Baltic in this house with no electricity and candlelight. So he survived, but since I've come back, I've obviously got to be in isolation for 2 days, and no instruments in this room. But I just thought you wouldn't mind. I'm going to do an old Billy Connolly song. Billy Connolly, as you all know, master of the one-liners, once said, Aberdeen is Gaelic for hypothermia. He wrote a great song called Last Train to Glasgow Central. And after I'd been on about, I don't know how many trains yesterday from Angoulême to Paris, from Paris to on the Eurostar and across. Now, where did I put my last train to Glasgow Central? This is all I need. I got it, thankfully. I typed this up. It's just Billy to a T, and he wrote it after a holiday. So let me just do this for you, and you can join it. Last train to Glasgow Central. Last train to Glasgow Central. You better catch this one, and you better get a ticket because here's the man. Dibbity bitty bitty bear bum to Glasgow Central. I'll do that again. Last train to Glasgow Central. Last train to Glasgow Central. You better catch this one, and you better have a ticket, 'cause here's the man. Biddy biddy bum bum to Glasgow Central. We had a great time, you couldn't whack it. Spent all my money and pawned my jacket. And on the train gone home, I was hiding in the lavvy when the ticket man came. Biddy biddy bum bum to Glasgow Central. Last train to Glasgow Central. Last train to Glasgow Central. You better catch this one, and you better have a ticket, 'cause here's the man. Biddy biddy bum bum to Glasgow Central. We had a great time, you couldn't whack it. Spent all my money and pawned my jacket. And on the train gone home, I was hiding in the lavvy when the ticket man came. Biddy biddy bum bum to Glasgow Central. Biddy biddy bum bum to Glasgow Central. Biddy biddy bum bum to Glasgow Central. I hope you were joining in with that. Thank you, Isabel Foley. It's a great song. Billy Connolly wrote it, and actually the last couple of weeks, I don't know, you must have seen that Billy has a new book out, and it's called Windswept and Interesting, I think. And my daughter Sophie keeps ringing me up and just reading me passages from it and just laughing because, well, he is such a magnificent observer and he's so good. So she just phones and we just laugh at what Billy has written. So she then got to a bit where she was trying not to look at the pictures because there's some pictures kind of in the middle. And then when she got to the picture, she said, "Mum, you've made the book." I said, "How do you mean I've made the book?" She said, "You're in the book. Billy has picked a picture with you and him in the book." She said, "Don't buy it. I'll give it to you as a Christmas present." So I haven't bought it yet. But apparently, I think I was at Highland Games many moons ago and Billy Connolly was there. And he was wearing some fancy sporran. And I think in the book he's described, I think it might be a badger's head or something completely politically incorrect. And I think in the book it says something like, me with Fiona Kennedy looking, I don't even know what to say. You'll have to get the book. Get the book. Get Billy's book. So that was last great train to Glasgow Central. Yesterday I got on a train from southwest France to Paris onto the metro, but the metro was closed, the line that I needed to get from Montparnasse to Gare du Nord. However, I met up with two American people who were also looking at the map, and we made our way together on various trains and then had to get off and go in the rain and walk across to get to Gare du Nord. It was quite some journey. Now I'm home and I'm isolating. I don't quite know how this works. Do you know how this works? How come I have crossed France, I've got on metros, I got to London on Eurostar, went on the tube, I then got an Uber to Heathrow. My husband, the golfer, picked me up from Aberdeen Airport. So, am I then supposed to go in the spare room? Is that social distancing? And then today, I'm in here by myself. He's somewhere else in the house. And then I've done my test, so I have to wait for 2 days to get the result of my test. But I think I'm fine. I'm hoping I'm fine. But I'm still a bit bewildered about how all of this works. Anyway, that was Billy Connolly. And I am now going to move up from Glasgow to Dundee. Thank you, Will. It is bonkers. I'm trying to figure it out. I want to say hello to Andrew and Jane Gordon, who may well be sipping a glass of something on the Rhine, for all I know. Andrew and I do a bit of work together, voluntary work at the University of Aberdeen, and he very kindly came with Jane to my concert with Nielsen Neil at Valjaffrey in Glasgow recently, and afterwards they sent me a parody that Jane has written, really for her mother. During lockdown, Jane's mum, Mrs. Buick, lives in Dundee. She is the ripe young age of 97. She lives on her own. Good evening, Mrs. Buick. If you're watching, I hope you are, or if not, I hope somebody tomorrow can show you this on YouTube, because this is for you. Jane wrote this for you as a bit of fun during lockdown to the tune of The Road and the Miles to Dundee, and I just thought it was brilliant. I also want to say hello to Norrie Robertson in Dundee, a great friend, and he also knows Mrs. Jean Buick, so it's a small world. So let me sing Jane Gordon's song. It's an almost imaginary lockdown incident to the tune of The Road to Dundee. The queue was still snaking to Mark's from the car park. When I looked at my watch, it was 3:15, and although disinfected, my trolley was empty as I thought of the road and the miles to Dundee. So once in the shop, at a suitable distance, 2 meters between the next person and me, I went down the aisles and I searched the shelves quickly for the food that I needed to take to Dundee. When I got to the checkout, though screened off by perspex, the nice cashier lady was chatting to me. When she heard of my mission, she wished me most kindly safe journey, take care on the road to Dundee. I packed the car boot with 6 bags and a cool box, started the engine, at last I was free to head down past Dobies and on towards Lenzie on the most direct route from Bearsden to Dundee. The traffic was light, and yet still I was worried. By Perth I could tell just how late I would be, so I stopped and I phoned to provide reassurance. In about half an hour I should be in Dundee. The silvery Tay shone beside the A90. The new V&A looked so fine on the quay. But just beyond Tesco I was stopped by a policeman who questioned the need for my trip to Dundee. I said to the lad, he looked younger than 20, "If you open my boot, then you clearly will see I'm supporting my mother. She's well into her 90s, and she lives all alone in her house in Dundee." He examined my bags. He was after promotion. He scoffed at the quiche and the fine Earl Grey tea. Eclairs and fruit trifle are not deemed essential. We take a serious view of the rules in Dundee. I answered politely, "You've not met my mother. She knows what she wants. She's a cake devotee. She taught at the High, and she'll not take a telling. Healthy eating's unknown in her home in Dundee." At the mention of high school, he looked disconcerted. "I'm sorry I stopped you. I'm myself an FP, and I can remember, although I try not to, the horrible staff at that school in Dundee." With that, he saluted, and with pity he told me, "You've worries enough, so I'll now guarantee safe passage for you and your car full of goodies each time that you visit your mum in Dundee." Goodness, there you go. Jane Gordon. Fantastic, says Frank Crombie. And Sheena Reid says, brilliant. Elizabeth Lissamore McGilvery is watching. That is brilliant and also well sung. Thank you, Margaret. It is a brilliant song. Jane, I don't know what else you've written, but just keep sending them. Fran Douglas says, fabulous. And Judy McPherson, brilliant. Marion Mustard, fantastic. Shona Taylor, brilliant. Jane, you will see all yourself. You've got fans everywhere. Fantastic. 2 songs to start your show. That's great. Linda Patterson, Paige Graham, love that. I mean, what a great parody. And Tina Faulkner Elders, moi to Tina, just brilliant. And Liz says it's grand. And Beverly Reid. And Susanna Pearman Bradley in Sydney, Australia. Bravo and bravo to you. Robert Kerr, great. Oh, he's now saying hi to Linda. So hello, Linda, from Robert. So that's Dundee. What a great song. And I hope you're having a fabulous time. Mrs. Jean Buick in Dundee, aged 97. I mean, wonderful. Living on your own and feisty. And clearly you know what you want. And I'm so pleased that Jane and Andrew took you all the lovely things that you like, from quiche and eclairs and fine Earl Grey tea. So brilliant song. Thank you, Jane, for sending it to me. If anyone else has written a parody on anything, send it in. Email it to me or put it on, send it through Facebook or however. And love to give it a bash. Tonight is, as you know, I'm in isolation, just back from France, having been with my sister Kirstine for a week, and her poor cat, Monsieur Fifi, not Madame Fifi. Monsieur Fifi's not too well. Hope Monsieur Fifi is recovering. I am now going from celebrating Mrs. Jean Buick to celebrating a wedding in, the wedding's going to be in Barbados. Hey, Denny Barnes is watching. Mwah. Lovely friend from London town. I'm going to take you with me kind of to Barbados to a wedding that is happening this week between a wonderful, wonderful friend of mine called Sue Main, who is getting married in Barbados. She lives in California. Sue is wonderful. She is a manager of someone hugely famous, a legend. She is Burt Bacharach's manager, and she has looked after Burt, and who has toured until COVID, and Burt's in his 90s, and they've toured all over the world, and Sue has been amazing. And it's just lovely that Sue's getting married, and thinking of you, Sue. Have a wonderful wedding, and Jane and Bert and Raleigh and Oliver have a fantastic time in Barbados. For you, and I know I don't have accompaniment, but it's never stopped me before. I'm going to sing one of Bert's songs that dates back to 1965. Dionne Warwick recorded it. Many people recorded it. I think I want to say Bob Geldof, believe it or not. I think Bob Geldof sang this at the Royal Albert Hall. There was a great concert celebrating the work of Burt Bacharach and Hal David. And given that yesterday I was on so many trains before I got on the plane, I mean, I left at 8 in the morning and I got home at 11:30 at night, which was really 12:30. So I probably could have flown to Los Angeles in that time, Sue. Anyway, this is for you, and you all know this song. Trains and boats and planes are passing by. They mean a trip to Paris or Rome for someone else, but not for me. The trains and the boats and planes took you away, away from me. We were so in love and high above. We had a star to wish upon wish, and dreams come true, but not for me. The trains and the boats and planes took you away, away from me. You are from another part of the world. You had to go back a while, and then you said you soon would return again. I'm waiting here like like I promised to. I'm waiting here, but where are you? Trains and boats and planes took you away, but every time I see them I pray, and if my prayer can cross the sea, the trains and the boats and planes will bring you back home to me. Trains and boats and planes are passing by. They mean a trip to Paris or Rome for someone else, but not for me. The trains and the boats and planes took you away, away from me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. The trains and the boats and planes took you away, away from me. Do 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 do. The trains and the boats and planes took you away, away from me. There we go. I hope you were kind of Burt Bacharach and Hal David songs, with accompaniment, without accompaniment, in the cold, in the warm. That was specially for Sue Main and Trevor, wishing you all the best for your wedding, and much love, lots of celebrations. Now I'm going to switch this on. Whether or not this will work, I have absolutely no idea. I was hoping. Let me just see. I'm going to try and see if I can do a song with a backing track. And if I can, I will. But you all know how good I'm not at... It might work. It might work. Yes. I'm doing this very specially for a special lady that we just lost. And I'll tell you in a minute. Who would have thought, after all of these years, we'd still be dancing in time? A beautiful spark whenever you're near, pulling your heart into mine. Who would have thought the moment we met, you'd turn around with that smile, telling me then it's not if, it's just when we'll take that walk down the aisle. Slide, Shiva, slide, Shiva, slide, Shiva. Here's to you and me. Who would have thought we'd have 3 little ones? In the blink of an eye, they'd be grown, waltzing through life with their dreams taking flight, someday with kids of their own. Slide, Shiva, slide, Shiva, slide, Shiva. Here's to you and me. à Liverpool, London, New York and Paris, the Highlands, the Islands, Aurora Borealis, we dance through the fountains of Rome. Wherever we are feels like home. Who would have thought I could look in your eyes and feel like we've only begun? Spin me around, lift my feet off the ground. Here's to the best yet to come. Slide Shiva, slide Shiva, slide Shiva. Here's to you and me. Here's to you and me. Oh, thank you, Frida. Thank you. I just wanted to say I got a message last week from Fiona Wood, and she asked if I would sing Who'd Have Thought, because it was her mum's favourite song, and her mum very sadly passed away on the 16th of November from COVID, and almost unbelievably her sister Sarah also passed away of COVID. Just unthinkable. And I know that Elma, ever since I started these kitchen concerts all these months ago, Elma was always there, always there. And I'm just so desperately sorry, and I'm sure all our viewers of the kitchen concerts send condolences to Fiona and all the family at the loss of Elma and Sarah. It's just awful. But it was her favourite song, and they played it at Elma's funeral, and I feel deeply honoured that that Elma enjoyed the concert so much, and that Fiona decided that that's what she wanted to play. So I can see that lots of people are sending in condolences to Fiona. We're all thinking of you, because this kitchen concert has sort of brought so many of us all together, and a lot of people have gone through a lot of very hard times during these 18 months and more, goodness, and more. So thinking of you. Let me round off with something. Let me see. That technology worked. So let me see what I've got here that you might like. We finish with Down the Line. Given that I was on so many trains yesterday, and actually a lovely and a funny coincidence happened when the tube was off in France, or the metro, and I was standing looking at a map on a wall thinking, I have no idea where I'm going now. There was a mother and son, a grown-up son, standing next to me, and we were looking at the map together, and it turned out that they were American, and we were lost together. So I said, can I just tag along with you, and we'll get on another metro, and we'll try and get as near as we can to Gare du Nord. So we got on, and we did about 12 stops together, in which time I discovered that this young man was going to do a stand-up comedy open mic night in Paris, and then on to Romania today to be in the final of a comedy show. And this young man is called Steve-O Jocelyn. And his mum was so proud of him. She's got 3 sons, and she'd flown from America to watch her son do stand-up in Paris and then go to Romania. Amazing, the chats and what we all find out about one another as we're travelling. So good luck to Steve-O in Romania. I hope you win the competition. that was one story. The next story was getting in a taxi in the Uber to go to Heathrow Airport when I got to London. The driver was a lovely chap who also had a removal company, and he was married to a young Glaswegian doctor. And he met his now wife with 2 children. They now have 2 children. When he was moving house with, she needed someone to help her move house, and she just phoned up the company, and he moved her to Glasgow, and she travelled with him in the removal, and it was another lovely story. And I just thought, we're all just human, and we all need to hear our stories. So if hearing their stories once a week and all my nonsense and a few songs cheers a few people up, then I am really happy. So thank you for joining me. Let's see if this works again. I wrote this with Callum McCall because I was thinking about railways. I was thinking about how often you wave your children off on a railway, and kind of if you've done your job, they don't look back. They might look back once and wave, and then they carry on, and then off they go. And then you're left kind of a bit tearful at the station. That's what I wrote this song about. Let's see if it works. Let's see if I've even got it. Oh, yes, I do. It's done. It may or may not work. You never know. It's downloading. It is downloading. Thank you for joining me. As usual, it's a bit last minute, but I know that you're out there, and it's just lovely to have you with me. It's coming like Christmas. I'm not singing any Christmas songs till next week. If you're anywhere near Braemar on Saturday, come and join us. Oh gosh, it's working. Come and join us in Braemar for the Festival de Noël. I'll be presenting and singing a song or two. Down the line, feel the wind and hear the whistle blow. Take your time, ride the rails and you will learn to read them as you go. You will live and you will die, you will laugh until you cry down the line. Woo! Can you see? I'm waiting at the station after you, and I will be dreaming of the future, all the things you're gonna do. I'll be looking for slip into the crowd. I won't lose you. I don't even remember my own words. Yesterday we were holding hands, singing playground songs. Ba, 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 ba. Now you fly, never looking back till you're gone. Down the line. Years ago, I was riding on this train just like you. Ran so fast, doing all the stupid things I knew I shouldn't do. I was looking for the answers, climbing mountain after mountain, same as you. Yesterday, we were holding hands, singing playground songs. Ba, 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 ba. Now you fly, never looking back till you're gone, almost gone. Down the line. Down the line, you'll be waving at the station. Thank you so much for joining me, and lovely to have you with me and back being live. I'll be live again next week. I'm sure, hopefully, fingers crossed, day 2 test will be fine, and I'll have a musician back in the kitchen with me, and then we're going to do a Christmas special the week after that. I'm going to try and get all my guests to come into the kitchen if we're allowed, and the kilted chef to cook up a storm in the kitchen. So we're going to have a really good Christmas special. I think that's the 19th or 20th, whatever date the Monday is. So thank you for joining me. If you're in the Aberdeenshire area and want to come to St Margaret's Braemar, there's a whole weekend of wonderful festivities celebrating Christmas. So come out to Braemar if you can. 6 o'clock is the concert with chamber choir from Aberdeen University, Albine School Choir, Fiona Hunter, a wonderful brass ensemble. It'll be lovely at 6 o'clock. So join us then, and look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much. Mwah. Bye.